Think about the last time you closed a door just to be alone. A bedroom, a bathroom, a car with the windows up. That small, private space where nobody can see you, you probably assume it's a basic human need, as old as the species itself. But for almost the entire history of your kind, it barely existed. Your ancestors lived their whole lives in front of other people. They slept in the open, side by side. They argued where everyone could hear. They grieved, they got sick, they fell in love. All of it watched by the same faces every day from birth to death. So how did they find any privacy at all? And here's the stranger question. What did living with almost none of it do to who we are? Start by letting go of an assumption you didn't know you had. You probably think of privacy as a basic, permanent human right, something everyone has always wanted and always had some version of. But the kind of privacy you're picturing, a physical space where you can shut the world out, is a surprisingly recent invention. For the small bands most of your ancestors lived in, it simply wasn't available. Picture the actual conditions. A band of a few dozen people, no walls, no separate rooms, no doors to close. You sleep an arm's length from your family. You eat in full view. Every argument, every reconciliation, every moment of weakness happens in front of people who have known you your entire life. Anthropologists who lived with mobile hunter-gatherers like Richard Lee among the Jew/Huansi of the Kalahari describe exactly this, a life lived almost entirely in the open, where there is nowhere to take a private moment, because there is no private space to take it to. And in a world like that, you are under constant surveillance not by cameras, but by everyone you know. In a small group, your reputation is your survival, and the whole band is always quietly keeping track. The psychologist Robin Dunbar argues that gossip is one of the things that holds human groups together, a kind of social glue, the way grooming binds other primates. But gossip does something else too. It means everyone knows what you did, where you went, and who you did it with. Polly Wiessner found that among the Jew/Huansi, the fire at night was where much of this happened, the place where stories were told, and the group, in effect, updated itself on everyone's business. Imagine a village where everybody knows everyone's secrets, and then turn that all the way up. That was normal. So if they had no walls, does that mean they had no privacy at all? Not quite. Here's the clever part. They didn't build privacy, they performed it. Instead of physical barriers, they used social ones. Darkness, distance stepping to the edge of camp or into the bush, turning to face away. And most importantly, a shared agreement to look but not really see. The sociologist Erving Goffman had a name for this in modern life: civil inattention. It's the way you don't stare at a stranger crying on a train. Your ancestors ran on a version of the same rule. When someone needed a private moment, others granted it not by leaving, but by politely, deliberately, not noticing. Privacy wasn't something you built, it was something the group gave you. So let's reconstruct a moment that needs privacy. A couple wants to be alone together. There is no bedroom to disappear into, no door to lock. So they use what they have. They wait for the dark. They move to the edge of the firelight, beyond the others. And everyone else, who of course knows exactly what's happening, simply looks elsewhere, keeps talking, lets it be. The same tools handle grief and sickness and shame. Not walls, but tact. A whole society running on the quiet skill of pretending not to see. But there was one place no one could ever reach. One space that was always completely yours. The inside of your own head. Your ancestors could be seen sleeping, eating, weeping, but no one could see them think. Your private thoughts, the running voice behind your eyes, may be the oldest form of privacy there is. When the whole world can watch your body, the mind becomes the only room with a door, and it's a room your ancestors never had to build. It came standard. Now here's the twist. Everything you think of as normal privacy came late. As people settled down, built permanent houses, and grew wealthier, homes slowly gained separate rooms, then bedrooms, then the idea that an individual deserved space of their own. Historians like Philippe Ariès and Georges Duby traced how this private, walled-off life developed over centuries, mostly a recent chapter in the human story. And then, having finally built the walls, you handed the privacy back. You carry a phone that tracks where you go. You post your meals, your face, your feelings, your location for strangers. You have more physical privacy than any ancestor could dream of, and you have quietly given away a different kind entirely. You've returned to being watched only now. It's not by people who love you. It's by strangers and machines. And this reveals something worth sitting with. Privacy isn't one fixed thing that humans always wanted in the same amount. The scholar Barrington Moore compared privacy across many cultures and found that while some desire for it shows up widely, what counts as private and how much people want varies enormously from one society to the next. Privacy is a dial, not a constant. Every culture, including yours, sets it differently, and yours has been turning it in strange directions. So feel the contradiction in yourself. You crave the closed door, the drawn curtain, the do not disturb. Being watched without consent makes your skin crawl, and yet you'll happily broadcast your whole life to an audience of strangers you'll never meet. Both of those impulses come from the same place, a creature built to live inside a group's gaze, now swinging wildly between total exposure and total isolation, never quite sure which one it wants. So think about that closed door one more time. Your ancestors never had it. But here's the part worth staying with. They were also never truly alone, not the way you can be. Right now? Sealed in a room where no one knows what you're doing or feeling. The privacy you treasure is new. The feeling of being fully known, held, watched over, never unseen is the ancient thing, and it's the thing you traded away to get the door. So maybe the real question was never how your ancestors survived without privacy. It's what exactly you gave up to finally have it.